Yeah. Oh, what is that? A megaphone? Megaphone. That's what I don't want to use that. Yeah.
Every single time, man. Every single time.
Run it back, nation! Sixers sickos. Thanks for being here. This is Run It Back Philly. No frauds. No fanboys. Never have I ever had an intro. That was a figment of your imagination. Thank you for being here. If you enjoy the content, if you watch this regularly, please consider subscribing to the channel. A lot of people that watch these are not subscribed. And give me the likes, man. Just hit the like button. Helps me out a lot. It is August 4th. Is it August 4th? What's the date today? It is August 5th, 2024. We have entered the dark days of NBA talk. August and September are days where I usually start to collaborate with other creators and have some conversations and debate and things like that because, let's be serious, not a whole lot to talk about NBA-wise. So the fact that you guys are even here, I appreciate. Thank you so much, okay? Thankfully, there is the Olympics, and Joel Embiid is playing in the Olympics, so there's that for me to talk about. If that wasn't happening, I don't know what I'd be saying right now, man. But yeah, thank you for being here. 89 people in here right now. Give me 89 likes. And let's get into what we got to talk about, okay? The Joel Embiid discourse on the internet has been... Oh, wrong button. Producer, where are you at? The Joel Embiid discourse on the internet has been annoying, I will say. He's become the most hated player on the planet. I still do not really know why. But his benching against South Sudan gave people some more fuel, and then Steve Kerr started him against Puerto Rico. Joel Embiid had his best game so far in the Olympics against Puerto Rico with 15 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 6 for 13 from the field, 2 blocks, a +9. And the haters are completely silent. They don't exist anymore. We knew this with Joel Embiid. First of all, Joel Embiid does not play basketball at this time in the year. Ever. You know what I mean? Ever. Joel Embiid has never actively been playing basketball at a high level in July. So we have to cut him some slack. And we knew it was going to take some games for him to get up to speed, and we knew he wasn't going to look great right off the bat. So a couple games in, he has a solid outing, 15 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 blocks, a +9. Leads all starters in scoring in that game. They started out a little rusty. Then, they made a little bit of a comeback. And in the beginning, I was like, USA doesn't look great with Joel Embiid on the floor in the beginning of the game. He went to the bench. Anthony Davis came in. Bam Adebayo came in. They started to run and gun a little bit more. They started to get back into dominating. And I was like, shit, now the narrative is going to be even crazier because they put Joel on the bench and then the U.S. made a run. But then when Joel came back in that second time, he looked a lot better, and he started to look like just a little bit more fluid in the offense and finding out what his identity really is on a team like this. And it's what Steve Kerr is probably doing also, because Joel Embiid needs the ball. Joel Embiid commands space. He commands time in the offense. He's not a guy that can just kind of slide in and be a role player. It's tough for him. So I didn't care that he wasn't great in the Olympics in the past couple of games. I wouldn't care if Joel Embiid sat the rest of the thing and didn't play and just went into the Sixers season healthy. But the fact that, he figured out a little bit of a groove there towards the middle of the game and ended the game with 15 points, it makes me happy because I hate the Joel Embiid hate. I think it's absolutely ridiculous, and I think it's sad that in today's day and age, in social media era, just people are missing out on greatness, and if people aren't appreciating some of the greatest players that have ever lived, and they're just hating every day, it's just really sad. It really, it sucks, because they're gonna go 20 years from now, they're gonna be like, damn, I hated that guy forever, and he was actually one of the most talented players ever. I was just an angry 14-year-old on Twitter. It is what it is. But he led all starters, and the haters are completely silent. Now, the funny thing is, towards the end of the game, they're running the clock out. Joel Embiid has the ball at half court. He's egging on the fans as the USA is up by 23 points on Puerto Rico. The boos are raining down. He's holding the ball at half court, telling the crowd,
perhaps a smaller margin,
telling the crowd to be louder. Bro, it's just so much fun to watch somebody take hate from thousands and thousands of people take it, stand there and take it and enjoy it. And that's how you should be with haters. This is how everybody should be with haters. If this many people hate you, you're doing something right. You should actually, anytime in life, just like if so-and-so was talking shit and people were saying that this person was saying bad things about me, look at it in a positive light. Anytime that happens to me, I'm like, okay, cool. They must hate something I'm doing right. You know what I'm saying? And so I love the way that Joel Embiid handles it. But he eggs on the crowd here, and then the boos are just ridiculous. Dude from Puerto Rico tries to steal the ball like an idiot, down by 23 with 4 seconds left. Like, what would that have done besides ignite the crowd? What's this dude's name even? Joel, without looking, doesn't allow him to get the steal. Come on, bro. Now you just embarrassed yourself on the main stage. And then he shoots the ball from half court just for fun. Now, if he would have made the shot, it would have been absolutely epic, okay? But he airballed it. Fine. They were running the clock out. The game's over. Nobody really cares. The French fans cheered after the airball, all right? But this shouldn't have been really being talked about, aside from the fact that it was funny that Joel Embiid was egging on the crowd and shot the ball from half court. The thing that annoyed me was this. Sports Center, the worldwide leader in sports, posted this on Facebook. Embiid was taunting the crowd and then immediately airballed a deep three with a crying, laughing face, and they circled the ball out of bounds. They conveniently left out the fact that the game was over and Joel Embiid was running out the clock. And Joel Embiid was taunting the crowd, who was booing him the whole game. They've been booing him the whole Olympics. Why would ESPN, who's supposed to be a credible news source, be putting out clear, agenda-driving Joel Embiid hate? Why would you post this without putting in the fact that he was running the clock out and the game was over? They literally made it sound like Joel Embiid, in the middle of the game for no reason, taunted the crowd and shot the ball from half court and airballed it. What are we doing? Why do we have the major sports networks now joining in the Joel Embiid hate? It's absolutely ridiculous. What are they going to do if Joel Embiid wins a championship? What are these companies going to do? What is Bleacher Report? What is House of Highlights? What is Sports Center? What are all these media companies going to do if Joel Embiid wins an NBA championship? I'm tired of the hate, man. From 14-year-old trolls on Twitter, okay, but Sports Center? That's embarrassing. That's what that is. Lamar is the most hated player in sports. Well, I mean, I don't sit around watching Baltimore Ravens games, so whatever. Sean Ford, most of the Team USA guys are number ones on their teams and have adapted. Only LeBron and any defensive role players really being highlighted. That and whoever the sixth man is game to game. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to DJ, I love you. I love Joel. Okay, we're going to get to that comment too. Sean Ford, yeah, it's tough. You know, there's so many great players on this team. You can't play them all. You know, we overreact anytime somebody doesn't get any playing time or whatever. Can't even call it Says, DJ, I love Joel, but you're blinded by his talent. But what has he done? He's injured every year. I'm frustrated with that just like anybody else. But Joel Embiid has given everything he could possibly give to the Philadelphia 76ers since day one. He's had some of the worst constructed teams you could possibly put together. He averaged 30 points per game against the New York Knicks in that playoff series just a couple of months ago, and they lost in the first round. 30, 10, and 6 to be exact. 30 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists. What more do you want the guy to do? It's a team game. This upcoming season is one of the best rosters I think he's had, maybe the best roster I think he's had. And if you could have gotten just 15 points from Tobias Harris, you'd probably win that first round against the Knicks, and then you'd probably end up in the Eastern Conference Finals. You got Paul George now. You got year 5 Tyrese Maxey. You got veterans. You got shooters. You got 3-and-D guys. They need to get it done this season. And I say that every year. They need to get it done this season. But maybe I am blinded by his talent. I just see the effort. I see the heart. I see his want to win. And I just can't discredit the guy. I absolutely can't. And I call him out. I call him out all the time. If I see a game, where he's flopping and yelling at the officials and just playing like an annoying, complaining, I call him out every time. I'm honest with myself and I'm honest with my opinions. And, he definitely does things that I don't like. And I like the fact that Nick Nurse, I think, is on his ass a little bit. I noticed something different last season. I noticed his rebounding. I noticed a lot of things just changed under Nick Nurse versus a passive buddy guy like a Doc Rivers or a Brett Brown. So, but thank you for your comment. I appreciate that. Do you call him out for being dirty? Absolutely. I've said it plenty of times. There's plenty of games. Watch some of my watch-alongs, bro, in the first quarter of those Knicks games, or any game where he's frustrated in the first quarter and he starts pushing guys and shit like that. I don't like it. I'm like, what are you doing? Get your head in the game. You're losing your composure. Yeah, bro. Because I keep it a buck. I'm not here to put on some kind of show. I'm just here to say what I honestly think. Now you get to watch my watch-alongs this upcoming season to find out what really goes on. You know what I mean? Anyway, there's the take. The ESPN's being haters on Joel. It's annoying, but Joel Embiid is getting in his groove, and I think he's going to. Tomorrow, they play Spain. Am I right? I think I just checked it. Tomorrow they play. Okay, here we go. Tomorrow let's see, Serbia, South Sudan, Puerto Rico. Tomorrow they play Brazil at 3:30 p.m. And so we'll see if Joel Embiid continues to be in that groove of just finding his role in his team and contributing to the USA. Quite obviously winning a gold medal. Nobody's beating this team. Way too much talent. Way too much talent. Nobody's beating this team. And a little bit later in this episode, I'm going to talk about why nobody's beating this team, why clearly the United States is the leader in basketball. I mean, can we even argue this? And it has to do with Noah Lyles, and Noah Lyles, who just won the gold medal at the Olympics in the 100 meters. I want to talk about him, and then I want to talk about kind of the comments that he had on NBA players calling themselves world champions and the kind of conversation or debates I've been having on Twitter the past day, really, because of that. We're going to get into my opinion on him, United States basketball in general, and some other stuff right after this. This is brought to you by GameTime Ticket app. Download the GameTime Ticket app or go to gametime.co and use the promo code CLNS for $20 off. Let's search. There's probably not Eagles tickets available yet, right? Let me just show you if you haven't seen Phillies. What was next upcoming Phillies game? Dodgers tonight, 7:10 p.m. in Dodger Stadium. This is a good series for the Phillies as they've been slumping lately, and Phillies fans are absolutely losing their minds. I personally think the Phillies are slumping at the perfect time, and they will get back into a groove, and by the time the playoffs start, they'll be rolling like a well-oiled machine, and they will have a damn good chance of winning the World Series this year. But on GameTime's website, here you go. This app and website gives you lower ticket prices the closer you get to the event. So right now, this game, if you happen to be in LA, is at 7:10 p.m. There's tickets right now in Dodger Stadium for $28. That's the flash deal they show you. They show you a zone deal right here, and then they'll give you this right here, which is the best available deal, $135 a ticket right there, right along the third baseline in Dodger Stadium. That is how Game Time ticket app works. Check it out. Go to gametime.co or download the Game Time ticket app and use promo code CLNS for $20 off. Thank you to Game Time for sponsoring the channel. Terms apply. Game Time, where tickets get cheaper as the event gets closer. Let's talk about Noah Lyles, who just won the 100-meter final in the Olympics. And I know this isn't technically basketball related, but Noah Lyles has been probably unwarrantedly, is that a word? Has been unfairly hated by NBA social media because of his comments on the USA basketball team, or not the USA, the NBA champions not being world champions. And I got to give the guy credit because he had people on the internet rooting against him, which is just weird to me. You're allowed to have your opinion. Do I agree with his opinion? No, not at all. Do I think he's a little bit of annoying with the way that he talks and boasts and things like that? Yes. But he went out and won the whole damn thing. And I wasn't rooting against him because I'm from this wonderful country and I want the USA to win the whole thing and I want to talk shit on everyone else. That's why I like sports. But he went out and won the whole damn thing. So this is like the most perfect example of believing in yourself and backing up everything you say. So Noah Lyles in the heat race before the final lost by about, I don't know, fractions of a second to Jamaica. And he stared down the dude that beat him. And it was going wild on the internet. People were saying, Noah Lyles talked all that shit and lost, blah, blah, blah. These people didn't even realize this wasn't the final. So he stares down the dude that beats him. All right. Look, Hater Report posted him losing a heat race and said Noah Lyles is not touching gold. Oblique Seville didn't even try at the end. Not touching gold because he lost in a heat race. Anyway, he stared down Seville after he lost that heat race, and he said after that race, I underestimated my opponents, and it won't happen again. I feel bad for my opponents. So then he got even more hate because just the cockiness was out of this world, right? And even his warm-up before a race is obnoxious. Everyone else is stretching, and he's jumping and screaming and pounding his chest and doing all this, doing all that. He puts the most pressure on himself you can possibly put on yourself because he believes in himself that much. You can't do everything he did and say everything he said and lose this race. And then he goes out there in the final and wins the damn gold medal by 5 milliseconds. And it looked like Jamaica, it looked like, what's this dude's name that beat him in the heat race? Seville. It looked like Seville beat him. Even the broadcasters live on the broadcast were saying Jamaica, Seville wins, Jamaica wins, whatever. And then the crowd's going crazy. Lyles is walking around holding up his number at the chin. And I'm like, why is he celebrating? What the fuck happened? And then they show the thing, and he won by 5 milliseconds. And in the Olympics, the first person's chest to cross the finish line is the winner. And technique at the very end won, and he crossed the line 5 milliseconds before everyone else. He won the gold medal. So you got to give the guy credit for talking all that shit, being loud, being cocky, staring down an opponent after he lost in the heat race, and backing it all up and winning the whole damn thing. I love that. I think that's a serious example of believing in yourself so much that you're like, nah, fuck that, I'm winning this thing. And he went out and he won it. Now, let's go back to what he said. Why NBA fans were rooting against their own country. Because he said this, and NBA fans hated it. And then I posted it, and I still disagree with it. I think it's ridiculous. But here's what he said if you haven't heard it.
World champion of what?
Now, look. Noah Lyles was clearly one of the dudes at the park that, like, while other dudes were playing basketball, he was doing, like, backflips off the picnic tables and shit, wearing a chain wallet, probably skateboarding, some other, you know that dude? He was that dude. So he doesn't like hoops anyway. When the Boston Celtics won the championship, the NBA calls them the world champions, and he didn't like that. And here's what he said.
World champion of what? The United States? Don't get me wrong. I love the U.S. at times. But that ain't the world. That is not the world. We are the world.
I would really love to do anything else but to listen to this guy talk, bro. I just cringe. I don't know what it is about the way that he talks and his voice. Anyway.
Ain't the world. That is not the world. We are the world. We have almost every country out here fighting, thriving, putting on their flag to show that they are represented. There ain't no flags in the NBA.
And I reposted it again, and I said, this is still such a dumb take. And it is. All of the world's best basketball players are in the NBA. Comparing it to you running sprint races against other countries doesn't make any sense.
That is not the world. We are the world. We have almost every country out here fighting.
We do too. Literally last year's MVP is from Serbia. Luka Doncic is from Lithuania. Victor Wembanyama is from France. Giannis Antetokounmpo is from Greece. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is from Canada. Joel Embiid is from Cameroon, Africa. Yes! The NBA does represent the world. All of the world's best basketball players. So I said this. If the U.S. had a sprinter league and was paying the world's best sprinters $100 million, more than any other country could possibly pay them, all of the guys he raced today would be in the U.S. Sprinter League, and when he won that league, he would be the best in the world. It's just obvious, bro. But so I got a little bit of a backlash for this post from people on Twitter telling me that the NBA champions are not the world champions because they didn't beat everyone in the world. But all of the best basketball players in the world are in the NBA. So when you win the NBA championship, you beat all of the best players in the world. Why should you then have to go play whoever the hell the best team of the second best league in the world is? Real Madrid? I actually Googled it. It's Real Madrid. Let's look at Real Madrid's roster, because these people think that when you win a championship in the NBA, you're not a world champion because you didn't play the other best teams in the world. Do you want the Boston Celtics, who won the 2024 championship, so they would have to win the NBA championship and then go do what? play France without Wembanyama and Rudy Gobert because they're in the NBA? Should they go play Serbia without Nikola Jokic and Bojan Bogdanovic and all those other dudes who are, wait for it, in the NBA? Should they go play Canada without SGA and Jamal Murray and everyone else because, wait for it, they're in the NBA? It doesn't make any sense. The NBA champion is the best team in the world. That's obvious. So I say, well, what is the best league outside of the NBA? And it's the Euro Basketball League. And what is the best team? Real Madrid. Real Madrid basketball roster. Let's see who the 2024 Boston Celtics should, according to Twitter, have to play to be crowned world champions. Real Madrid is who they should have to go play to be crowned world champions. Let me tell you who's on Real Madrid's team. Fabian Cossier, Rudy Fernandez, Sergio Llull, JC Carral, Facundo Campazzo, Felipe Reyes, Gabriel Deck, Anthony Rudolph, Eddie Tavares, Alberto Abalde. Who? So, according to Noah Lyles and everyone else that's arguing with me, when you win an NBA championship, you should go play Fernando Reyes and his boys and blow them out by 190 points to be crowned world champions. Stop it. Get some help. Stop it. Music lover, what's good, man? It's why the Colin Cowherd stuff was insane. The only ones who care about the games are Lakers fans because it's gold medal is the closest thing to a championship they'll see in a long time. Jules Davis, thanks for subscribing to the channel. They're all better than Tobias. That's very, very, that's a very good point. That is a very good point. When does NBA training camp start? End of September. End of September, beginning of October. Sorry, but Lyles is right. The NBA is not the only league. The point he's making is that NBA teams are not competing against teams based in other countries. That's just a technicality, though. And when he's saying the champions of what? The world? That ain't the world. Okay, then. Fine, Noah Lyles. We'll take the 2024 Boston Celtics and we'll go make them play Fernando Reyes and the boys, and they'll win by 190 points, and then they'll be the world champions just so you guys will be happy. You understand the point that I'm making? He was saying it in the context of, you're not world champions. You didn't beat everyone in the world. The vibe that I get is he's saying that, like, you're not good enough to hold that crown. Everyone knows any NBA team will smoke everyone else in the world any day of the week. The world champions take doesn't make sense to me. Why don't they call themselves NBA champions? I'm cool with them saying someone is the best player in the world. So they can have the best players in the world, but they can't call themselves the best team in the world? They are the best team in the world. That's the... how can we argue that? But anyway, if you disagree with that, I respect your opinion. You're allowed to have an opinion even if it's incorrect. Mine is clearly correct. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. 246 people in here, man. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you for coming through. I think that's all I got, really. NBA champions are the champions of the world. Just accept it. But shout out to Noah Lyles for backing up all this stuff, man. I really like to see it yesterday, and he's going to run the 200-meter final, I think today. Am I wrong? Maybe tomorrow? I'll be watching that. So, you know, if you want to keep up with my opinions on the Olympics and things, follow me on Twitter at DjEastwood, RIBP. And, yeah, it's been fun. And we might live stream the USA basketball game tomorrow. Thursday's a 200-meter final. I don't know anything, man. Thanks for hanging out. You guys are the best, man. We're in the dog days of the NBA. We're talking about Noah Lyles and the 100-meter finals in the Olympics, but it's fun. Thanks for being here. I'll see you guys very soon. I'm out.